Working day. Now I would like to invite Oleh Gladkovskiy, who is the first Deputy Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council. You know that Petro Poroshenko was with the working visit in the United Arab Emirates, and there was the exhibition IDEX-2015, and Ukrainian delegation participated in it. And Oleg will talk about that exhibition and about the opportunities and the possibility for Ukrainian armed forces to get equipment.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I'm very grateful to the Media Center for the opportunity to speak. Yes, the exhibition in Abu Dhabi, IDEX 2015, has just ended. This is the most powerful exhibition of military machinery, military equipment that happens once in 2 years in United Arab Emirates. This year, more than 20 Ukrainian enterprises took part, not only from Ukroboronprom state concern, but also some that are not subject to this, Motor Sich, Antonov Aviation Complexes, Corporation Praktika. I think that it was very interesting event, and it added some elements. The time of this exhibition coincided with the visit of the President of Ukraine to UAE with a working visit, and during this visit they signed a treaty on the military and technological cooperation with the United Arab Emirates, which is very important to solve the tasks that our country and our armed forces face. Re-equipment, re-armament, the involvement of investment into the military and industrial complex, the import of modern types of armaments and there was a huge number of talks during this event because more than 300 different enterprises from different countries were represented there. Such leaders as American companies Textron, Bayer, General Dynamics, Boeing, Mechanica, and so on were present there. By the way, we managed to sign a number of contracts that will help satisfy the needs of Ukrainian armed forces. And this does have a huge practical significance. So I'd like to inform the Ukrainian public that an opportunity to take part in the exhibition and what was happening around it does provide a hope that in the talks between the head of the UAE government and the President of Ukraine, they raised such issues as investment into Ukraine, into Ukrainian military industrial complex, and also a lot of projects that become more practical because this agreement was signed. The Minister for Foreign Affairs of United Arab Emirates signed this agreement, and the head of the Chief of General Staff of Ukraine, Mr. Muzhenko, signed it from the Ukrainian side. I hope you have some questions. I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you very much. Could you be more precise? What was signed? Is it a agreement to deliver arms from Ukraine to other countries, or from Arab Emirates to Ukraine, or does it concern other countries? You know, the main essence of the exhibition, at least we wanted to see it and it was realized, was that a lot of exhibits were there, and there were some samples like armored personnel carrier BTR-3, some launchers, Luch and Stugna, and communication means that are manufactured in Ukraine. So we demonstrated a certain level of our competence. And proceeding from the events that are taking place in Ukraine, and you know, for many countries, not only the production of the vehicles, but also the fact that it goes through testing during combat is a factor of the reliability of the produce. But one of the tasks that we set for ourselves was that many components for this machinery we used to get from Russia, and now when we have to work for the program of import replacement, we were meeting some representatives of different companies, and we're telling them, you know, we are producing this and they are of high quality, but for us, in order to involve investment, we have some lacunes here, so we need technology, and we are ready to engage in common joint production projects. And Motor Sich has signed a contract with a South African company to modernize helicopters, and they used to do this with a Russian enterprise previously, and so on. So two tasks were being solved: the import of means and technologies, and there is a huge problem because in recent years we are leaving the markets that are of priority to us from the point of view of export, but there was no such task. We did get some contracts that we will work upon after we satisfy the needs of the armed forces of Ukraine and other formations. But could you tell us whether there were some contracts concluding about the delivery to Ukraine of military machinery and armaments, or are we talking about only components? Yes, there are such contracts, and they are huge. We signed a contract with French company Thales for the delivery of drones and means of radio electronic combat. We also discussed a lot of contracts that will be realized very soon with a number of American companies, but I'd like to, using this opportunity,
I would like to say that it is very important to understand such factors, what's happening together with the hot war that our troops are conducting. We are in the situation of a certain information influence of Russian Federation. When any information is used by our enemy to block certain contracts, and we received previously the situation when you start working on a contract, you are faced with the problems which require time. So, and that is just the common problem for Ukraine. Unfortunately, when it comes to weapons supply, in this process, many people are involved, as well as information resources. I'm not just the first deputy head of the National Security and Defense Council, but the head of the Intersectoral Commission on Military Technical Cooperation and Export Control. And I will initiate and I will come up with proposals so that the issues of military technical cooperation during the battlefield, during the military actions become more closed topic, because we need to restore, that's not a secret, that before February 2013, there was a certain embargo on supply of weapons to Ukraine because Yanukovych's regime was violating all the norms of moral and democratic systems. So when we are restoring this new system, this work is to be going on and quietly, in a quiet atmosphere, because there are many ideas, and at least now we understand the concept of the development of armed forces. We understand the numbers. If last year our main instruments of influence were to repair the equipment, now we're talking about modernization and search for partners with who we can share technologies, because our main task is development of our enterprises and development of the markets. Our agreements, the agreements were signed for amounts of many millions of dollars, and these are for both export and import. But I do not want to make them public because, unfortunately, a lot of information is used against us. That is really a powerful weapon used by Russians to get us, to deprive us of all these opportunities. I do not know whether you know or not, but every day Russian Federation spends millions of dollars to create certain influence on certain people who in some countries are making decisions to complicate for us the process of transfer of equipment, armaments. And that is no secret. And the work is to be going on systemically and more discreet than it's happening, was happening before. Thank you. Any other questions?
Україна, факти події тижня, Волков.
Could you please tell how much time is needed for Ukrainian armed forces, for Ukraine to get re-equipped according to the military doctrine and the program that you mentioned? And the second question, I understand that this is a top secret because it's about armed forces of Ukraine, but that is important for the security of Ukraine. Will our military get new lethal weapons? There is such a reality in which we live. To win in any war, we need to have four factors. First, people, then weapons, third, money, and fourth, time. The program of re-equipment, rearmament, which is approved by the General Headquarters and the Ministry of Defense, is the program till 2017. As to whether we will get lethal weapons or not, I can tell you we are working with the whole world and not revealing the state secret where we do not have influence, which we unfortunately sometimes create. We will get lethal weapons from these countries where there's no noise around. Thank you all. Thank you, colleagues. Our working day is over. Thank you. Invite me more. I will be telling you more. Thank you. Tomorrow we start at 12:30. Again, I remind, starting from Monday, Ukrainian Crisis Media Center changes its location. From Monday, We're waiting for you in Ukrainian house, Krishchatik 2.